Have you ever looked at a complex piece of music and wondered how anyone could ever make it sound so beautiful? The notes are right there on the page, yet in the wrong hands it's just noise, but in the hands of a master, it becomes a feeling. It becomes a conversation without words. Now, let me ask you a different question. When it comes to the most intimate forms of touch, have you been treating it like reading a manual? Or like playing music? We have been sold a lie that says expertise is about a specific move, a secret button, a technique you can find in some shadowy corner of the internet. We've been led to believe that a woman's pleasure is a complicated lock, and if you just had the right key, it would open. So we fumble. We search for the right diagram, the perfect instruction. We become mechanics when we should be musicians. Let me be clear, the greatest tool you possess is not your hand, it is your attention. The most potent form of foreplay is not a caress, it is the act of noticing the slight catch in her breath. Noticing the way her back arches or doesn't, noticing the shift in her energy. This is what I call becoming a world-class noticer, because you cannot find the rhythm of a song if you are not listening. Think of her entire body as the instrument, not just one small part. The symphony doesn't begin when the violinist places the bow on the string. It begins with the breath they take before they even lift it. Your touch should be that breath. It should be present everywhere. It should communicate safety and reverence before it ever asks for a response. And we must talk about the most dangerous four-letter word in the bedroom: fine. Was it fine? We settle for fine because we are afraid to ask for astounding. We are afraid to say, show me what you like, guide my hand, tell me if this pressure is a whisper or a shout. Communication is not a clinical interruption of the mood, it is the mood. It is the bridge that turns a solo performance into a duet. Forget the map you think you know. Throw it away. Every single woman is a new continent with her own topography, her own weather patterns, her own secret, sacred places. Your job is not to conquer, it is to explore with curiosity, with wonder, with the understanding that the landscape can change from one moment to the next. And remember the mind, always the mind. You can have the most technically perfect fingering in the world, but if her mind is filled with static, with worry, with self-consciousness, with a lack of trust, your touch will be landing on a shield, not on skin. You must compose the space before you compose the touch. You must make her feel safe enough to be vulnerable and cherished enough to be wild. So, what actually works? It's not a checklist, it's a principle. It is the holy trinity of touch, pressure, rhythm, and variety. Start with a question, not a statement. Let your touch ask, is this it? And then listen, with your hands, with your eyes, with your entire being, for the answer. Build rhythm like a drummer finds the groove of a song. And then, when the moment is right, introduce variety. A change in pace, a change in motion. To keep the conversation alive, to keep the nervous system guessing and yearning for more. This is not a technique. This is a language. It is the language of I am here with you. It is the language of your pleasure is my purpose. It is the language of building a connection so strong that technique becomes irrelevant, and all that is left is the music you create together. So I want you to leave this place not with a new set of instructions, but with a new intention, to listen, to notice, to connect. Stop trying to be the world's greatest technician. Strive instead to be the world's greatest partner. And you will find that the music you make will be absolutely unforgettable, because you have shifted the entire paradigm. You are no longer a student nervously reading from a textbook. You are a composer, listening for the melody that wants to be played. Now, let's talk about this idea of listening with your entire being. It reminds me of a concept from the world of wine tasting, something called terroir. It's a French term that means the complete natural environment in which a particular wine is produced. The soil, the topography, the climate, the sunlight. It's the somewhere-ness of the wine. You cannot understand the wine without understanding the terroir. And you cannot understand a woman's pleasure without understanding her terroir, the landscape of her life, her history, her stresses, her joys, her fears, her dreams on that particular day. The touch that worked brilliantly last Tuesday might feel completely different tonight. Why, because her internal weather has changed. The terroir is different. The master lover knows this. He doesn't just touch a body, he touches a life. He understands that the gentle, reassuring pressure that says I am here, you are safe, after a long, difficult day is a far more profound intimacy than any acrobatic technique could ever be. It's the difference between a tourist who snaps a photo and a traveler who sits quietly, absorbing the spirit of a place. This is where we must dismantle another myth, the myth of the destination. Our culture is obsessed with the finale, the crescendo, the grand climax. We've been taught that the entire point of the symphony is the final, crashing chord. But what about the gentle swell of the strings, the haunting solo of the oboe, the quiet, breathless pause between two notes? If you are only focused on the ending, you have missed the entire piece of music. The journey is the destination. The meandering, exploratory, sometimes slow, sometimes playful journey of touch across the entire canvas of the body, the back of her knee, the inside of her wrist, the nape of her neck, where the hairline meets the skin. These are the quiet, beautiful movements of the symphony that make the crescendo so powerful when it finally arrives. It's the buildup of sensation, layer upon layer, that transforms a simple physical reaction into a full, body-full soul experience. Rushing to the finale is like fast forwarding to the last page of a novel. You know how it ends, but you have no idea what the story was about. And let's speak plainly about confidence, because I think we have it backwards. Many people believe that confidence comes from knowing exactly what to do, from having a pre-rehearsed script. But I'm here to tell you that true, unshakable confidence comes not from knowing, but from being perfectly at ease with not knowing. It comes from a deep, seated trust in your ability to learn, to adapt, to be present in the moment, and respond to what is actually happening, not what you hoped would happen. Think of the greatest leaders, the ones people truly follow. They aren't the ones who have all the answers. They are the ones who are calm, centered, and fully engaged when faced with the unknown. They project a sense of we will figure this out together. That is the confidence of a master lover. It's the confidence that allows you to say, tell me what you like, without a shred of embarrassment. It's the confidence that allows you to try something, notice it doesn't land, and effortlessly shift to something else without missing a beat. This kind of confidence is magnetic. It creates a bubble of trust where she feels free to express her own desires, to guide you, to become an active co-creator of the experience. Your confidence gives her permission to be confident. Now I want to take a moment to speak about a specific, tangible skill, but through this new lens we've been building. We talked about the Holy Trinity, pressure, rhythm, and variety. Let's breathe life into these words. Pressure, it is not just about how hard you press, it is a language. A light, tracing touch is a question, a whisper, an invitation to anticipation. A firm, steady pressure is a statement, a grounding force, and I am here. The key is to be intentional. Don't just vary pressure randomly. Use it to communicate. Start with the whisper, build to the statement. Let your touch have a dialogue with her nerve endings. Then rhythm. Rhythm is the heartbeat of pleasure. It's what transforms a random series of taps into a captivating drumbeat. But here is the secret the manuals never tell you. The most powerful rhythm is the one you find with her, not the one you impose on her. It's about finding the rhythm of her breath, the rhythm of her movements, and syncing with it. It's a call and response. You move, she responds. Her response guides your next move. This is the dance. This is where you move from being a technician to being a partner. And when you find that sync, that perfect, symbiotic rhythm, it becomes hypnotic. It becomes a feedback loop of pleasure where you are both the source and the receiver. And then variety. Monotony is the death of arousal. The nervous system adapts. A touch that was electrifying 60 seconds ago can become mundane or even irritating if it never changes. Variety is the spice, the surprise, the playful curiosity that keeps the entire system awake and yearning. But again, this isn't about a random bag of tricks. It's about intelligent variation. It's about building a pattern of rhythm and pressure, a circle, a figure eight, a steady pulse. And then, just as the body settles into it, you change it. You slow it down to a near standstill, drawing out the anticipation. You shift the location by a single, crucial centimeter. You introduce a different type of touch. The flat of your hand instead of your fingertips, the gentle graze of your knuckles. This variation isn't a disruption. It's a new question that the body is desperate to answer. It's what keeps the conversation thrilling. I want you to think of all this as a form of mindfulness. In fact, if you read any modern book on mindfulness, like Wherever You Go, There You Are, the core instruction is to be present in the moment, without judgment, to pay attention to the sensations that are arising, right here, right now. This is precisely the skill we are talking about. You are bringing a profound, non-judge, mental awareness to the shared experience. You are not thinking about what you should do next. You are not judging her responses or your own performance. You are simply, completely, present with the sensation, the sound, the sight, the energy of the woman in front of you. This level of presence is rare in our distracted world, and that is what makes it so incredibly potent. When you offer someone your full, undivided, uninterrupted attention, you are offering them a gift more valuable than any material possession. You are saying, in this moment, nothing and no one in the world is more important than you. That is an aphrodisiac no chemical can replicate, and this leads us to a deeper, more profound responsibility. When you engage in this way, you are not just touching a body, you are touching a story. Every person carries the history of their life in their body, the joys etched as ease, the traumas held as tension. Your touch, when done with this level of presence and respect, can be a deeply healing force. It can be a conversation that says, "Your body is a good body. It is a source of pleasure, not pain. It is worthy of reverence." I've seen the power of this in my practice. The power of a touch that communicates safety so profoundly that it allows old